Good afternoon and welcome to NTV News. I'm Siksha Sharma. Let's take a look into the headlines first. Prime Minister Dahal to address the opening session of UN Food Systems Summit in Italy today to hold bilateral meeting with his Bangladeshi counterpart Sheikh Hasina. BP Koirala Hospital in Dharan overwhelmed with dengue-infected patients. Hospital sees up to 40 emergency admissions in a day. At least 15 killed after ferry sinks off the coast of Indonesia, Sulawesi Island. Search underway for 19 missing people. And June roof collapses at a school in China's northeast, killing at least 11 people. One injured in the incident occurred under heavy rainfall. Welcome back. We take a look into news in detail now. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal is scheduled to address the official opening session of the United Nations Food Systems Summit +2 stock-taking moment UNFSS +2 in Italy's capital Rome today. The Prime Minister, who is leading the Nepali delegation, will address the summit in the capacity of the chair of LDC Group. Also today, Prime Minister Dahal is scheduled to hold bilateral meeting with his Bangladeshi counterpart Sheikh Hasina. Also, Prime Minister Dahal will hold bilateral talks with UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres on the sidelines of the summit. The Prime Minister is scheduled to hold bilateral meetings with high-level dignitaries of the UN system, including the Director General of FAO, the Executive Director of World Food Programme, and the President of International Fund for Agriculture Development, IFAD. Among others, the Prime Minister will also interact with the Nepali diaspora there in Italy. The Prime Minister is scheduled to return home on July the 28th. Two members of the same family, mother and son, died when a landslide buried their home in Bhaitari district. The deceased have been identified as Anju Jagari, 24, of Purchaudi Municipality 2, Bhairu Toll, and her 4-year-old son, Rijan, informed Chief of District Police Office Bhaitari DSP Prem Bahadur Shahi. The landslide that occurred above the home at 3 in the morning buried them to death. In the landslide incident, Gubbar Jagari, 18, Raimati Jagari, 45, and Jasma Bohra, 60 years of age, sustained injuries. The natural disaster has caused damage to the house and livestock there. 4 dengue-infected people have died within the 3rd week of Jait alone at BP Koirala Institute of Health Sciences in Dharan. Following rising number of cases and death of 4, the institute has set up a separate hospital to deal with the dengue-infected patients. BP Koirala Institute of Health Sciences has launched a dengue shelter which will be operated 7 days a week after the spread of dengue in Dharan sub-metropolitan city. The hospital's emergency ward was overwhelmed with dengue-infected patients, with the admission of some 30 to 40 people in a single day. The treatment of dengue-infected patients has started from the same hospital unit of the hospital which was previously used for treatment of COVID-19 infected patients. And let's take a look into a short break here. More news follows up next. Do stay with us. Welcome back. We take a look into further developments. Revenue Investigation Department arrested 6 more people, including a customs officer of the TIA Customs Office, in the case of more than 1 quintal of gold recovered from the Tribhuvan International Airport. The arrested employees are Santosh Chand, Kumar Dhakal and Sarosh Shrestha. The official also informed that the Patan High Court has extended the deadline of 6 days for the necessary investigation of the arrested. The department has previously arrested 10 people, including 1 Chinese and 1 Indian citizen in this case. At least 117 wild animals were found dead in Chitwan National Park in the last fiscal year. Different 17 types of wildlife were found dead in the national park and Madhyavarti Community Forest. Information Officer at the CNP, Ganesh Prasad Tiwari, shared the majority of the wildlife was found dead due to natural reasons. As many as 80 animals died due to natural cause, while 26 died after dog bite. In the period, 55 spotted deer, 22 one-horned rhinos, 9 gharial crocodile, 7 antelope and 3 tigers, Gaurigai and wild buffalo each were found dead in and around the area. According to the CNP data, a total of 142 wild animals were rescued during the period. The Kathmandu metropolitan city has made it clear that it has not planned to merge the community schools in the city at the moment. There are currently 89 community schools in the KMC. Among them, 59 are secondary schools, while the number of institutional schools stands at 504. Earlier, the KMC had been considering merger among those community schools having inadequate number of students. Koirala at present ruled out the possibility of merger. The KMC has allocated 50 million for beautification of the community schools in the city, while the overall budget allocated by the KMC for the education sector is over 1.3 billion in the current fiscal year. Taking you to the international update, where at least 15 people were killed and 19 more were missing on Monday after a ferry sank off the coast of Indonesia's Sulawesi Island. Search and rescue officials there said the boat sank with 40 people on board just after midnight local time. The local office of Indonesia's Search and Rescue Agency said in a statement, marine accidents occur frequently in the Southeast Asian archipelago nation of around 17,000 islands, where people rely on ferries and small boats to travel around despite poor safety standards. We take yet another break. Here, stay with us for more international updates. Welcome back to our other update. At least 11 people are now known to have died after a roof of school gymnasium collapsed under heavy rain in northeast China. State media reports 19 people were trapped inside the gym when it collapsed. Eyewitnesses told media that many of the victims are children, although this is yet to be officially confirmed. Police have arrested the person in charge of the building in the Qijiar city in the industrial province. A perlite, a form of volcanic glass that was piled on the roof, soaked up rainwater, causing it to collapse at the time. But the investigators say construction accidents are common in China and have been blamed on lax safety standards and poor enforcement. Russian missile strikes severely damaged a cathedral in the South Ukrainian city of Odessa, its military administration said. Odessa's largest cathedral building, located in the historic city center, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, got damaged in the Russian overnight missile attack that killed 1 and injured 19. The Spaso-Preobrazhensky Cathedral, or the Transfiguration Cathedral, was demolished in 1936 as part of Stalin's anti-religious campaigns and rebuilt when Ukraine gained independence from Moscow in 1991. Russia has been pounding Odessa and other Ukrainian food export facilities nearly daily over the past week. Last-ditch efforts to reach a compromise dragged into the night as Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu prepares to put a key plank of his government's controversial judicial reforms to the vote on Monday. Tens of thousands of protesters took to the streets of Jerusalem to oppose Netanyahu's proposal to curb the powers of judges, which critics fear will undermine Israel's democracy, as lawmakers debated the bill late into Sunday night. Demonstrators backing the government and its reform plans rallied in Tel Aviv, the epicenter of 29 straight weeks of anti-government protest. A vote is expected in the Knesset on Monday on the draft law which would limit Supreme Court judges' ability to strike down government's decision they deem as unreasonable. Into the highlights of what's coming up next. No single party or bloc is on course to win an outright majority in Spain's snap general election, according to a tally with about 99% of votes counted. The Conservative People's Party was set to narrowly win in the election on Sunday, but without the majority needed to topple the coalition government of Socialist Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez. The close outcome could lead to weeks of political jockeying. The next Prime Minister would only be voted on once legislations are installed in the new parliament. Time now for sports. And this brings us to the end of the bulletin. To wrap up, a quick reminder of the top stories. Prime Minister Dahal to address the opening session of UN Food Systems Summit in Italy today to hold bilateral meeting with his Bangladeshi counterpart Sheikh Hasina. Victoria Hospital in Tehran overwhelmed with dengue-infected patients. Hospital seized after 40 emergency admissions in a day. At least 15 killed after a ferry sinks off the coast of Indonesia, Sulawesi Island. Search underway for 19 missing people. Empty roof collapses at a school in China's northeast, killing at least 11. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Namaste.